Yeah, let's go. We just gotta go hard. I go the hardest. I bring the pain. Not what you used to. It's all part of the game. Yeah, I just gotta go hard. I just gotta go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Yeah, oh yeah, the beast back. Adrenaline.
Happy Tuesday, my guys, man. We back at it again, man. NPR Fantasy Football League. Yeah, man. Hell of a weekend that just passed. And we back. We back, yo. The NFL draft has commenced already, fellas. Uh, and this is what this show is going to be like. This is what it's going to be about. The draft recap from our standpoint, from our opinions, man. But without further ado, man, I go back Commissioner Bo, Commissioner of the NPR Fantasy Football League. What it do, what the business is, Big Cup. What's good, my guy?
What's going on? Great to be back. Ready to review this draft and get it popping.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Cool. What's good, broski?
Me. Monsters in the building. What up, man?
What up? What up, man? Happy to see you guys, man. And we got our good broski Marquise coming in momentarily, man, because he got to talk about his team and who he picked to be that team for him. You know what I'm saying? No bias, none of that going on today. It's just we like what we like, we do what we do. Hey, but without further ado, man, I'm glad to see you guys, man. The NFL draft, like I said, it's over with and done. So you know what's next. You got schedule release coming out May 14th for the NFL. I can't wait at all. I can't wait at all. So that's coming out. You get to know.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yes, sir. What's going on, broski?
Yeah, just had to go talk to the neighbor about some stuff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. We were just getting into it, man. NFL draft
you
is
told
going.
to get off your lawn, Marquis?
You said do what?
You told him to get off your lawn, big bro?
Nah. I gave him back the lawnmower to use for the kids.
Yes, sir.
Say, man, if you need me to send I got people in that area, you know what I'm saying? I can send, don't be out there tussling on your own, G. I got
all right. I'm right. I'm right around. I'm coming.
Hey, look, I'm getting a little too old to be tussling, but I got about 3 more fights in me. I got about 3 more.
I got one good one, and I'm done.
And I don't know how long that one gonna last. I got about 3 of them.
Pull a cramp and everything, bro.
I be telling the young boys, y'all got a good 3 minutes with me. After that, hey, up goes the gun.
You can hide, right? Yes, sir. Hey, that's what we do, man. Here at NPR, bro. Like that's what we do. Found bound. Hey, but like we were just getting into like this past like weekend with the NFL draft is over with and done. We were just saying that the NFL schedule coming out May 14th, like that's a few weeks away. We get to see our team home and away schedule. That's big. That's very big. You know what I'm saying? Especially you waiting on games that you want to go to and stuff like that. And after that, you guys already know what time it is, man. It'll be June, July, training camp. I mean, OTAs already started for some teams, right? But you got training camp coming about. You got preseason. First, you got the Hall of Fame game, then you got preseason. You got our draft whenever we choose to pick that. And then after that, man, the season started. Before we know it, be Labor Day, and then September is right around the corner, man. So it's moving along fast. Definitely moving along fast, man. Especially in the NFL, the football world. But yeah, man, we just want to get into it today. We picked our team and who we thought would be, that team, or not even that team, just our opinion on what we think about the draft grades, and the players that we'll pick. And I want to know from you guys too, man. Like, do you deem some of those picks ready, NFL ready? You know what I'm saying? If they NFL ready, for real. Anybody want to go first, man? I think this is going to be a dope one right here.
I'll go first.
Yes, sir.
I'll go first. We need to let all the MPR members know that be on the lookout for a new vote we're gonna put in because we're trying to get things moving along. In light of the draft, we need to have our draft order show
Yes,
so we can
sir.
get our orders in our order of selection in a little earlier this year. That way, people can kind of do a little mock drafts. We might even have a mock draft show for you guys. So be on the lookout for that. Trying to set up a time and a date for to have our draft order show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that on Coca Mesh for real, for real. Because I look at it this way, you know what I'm saying? The earlier you get it out, the more time you have to mark how you want to mark.
And
I mean,
also
it's a
trades.
long season.
Also
Yeah, and
trades.
trades too. And trades too. Yeah. Even though, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna get to that point where, once we draft, the draft is the draft. But yeah, man, those picks, that draft order selection, yeah, that's big time, man. Like I
Yes,
really
sir.
think it's big time. Whether you do it or not, you know what I'm saying? Whether you trade picks or not, like I just feel like it's healthy for any league. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't have that in your league, man, just give it a try. Really give it a
Absolutely.
try. It works for us and both leagues. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, man, Cup, let's go, man. Hey,
Let's get it.
revealing your team, man, the Washington
My team is
Commanders.
the Washington Commanders.
My team, your team, and a whole plethora of other people team. And shout out to DC too, man. Shout out to the DMV first and foremost, man. Not just because we from here or anything, but I want to say good job on getting that land back on the old RFK Stadium to get us a new stadium, get us out of FedEx Field. I remember when FedEx Field first opened in 1999. You know what I'm saying? That was the premier stadium at that time. 93,000 seats. They was like, it's the biggest in the league. Not no more. You know what I'm saying? Like you look at the hockey puck out there at Raider Nation down to SoFi Stadium. Yo, these stadiums are doper. They're getting doper and doper every year. So I just wanted to plug that in, man. Shout out to my team for actually,
2030.
yeah, ready to build a new stadium, man. I can't wait. New arena, dome, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, man. But man, go along, man. Washington Commanders, man. Mel Copper Jr. B plus. What do you give them, Cup?
I actually agree with Mel on this one. I also gave him a B plus, and the reason I gave him a B plus is because I don't think we got one of the biggest glaring holes we have, which was edge rusher. So we didn't address that in the draft. So
Yeah.
that's the only down part of the draft that I think we missed out on. But those darn Ravens picked Mike Green. They sniped us in the first round. In the first round, one pick before us. So,
Yeah,
well,
yeah. I
no, it
definitely
was the second round. Second round.
Yeah, I about to say second round.
Yeah, second round. Yeah, man. Washington Commanders up, man. Let's go into your player. Well, let's go into the picks. You know,
Okay.
let's definitely let me drop this down. And wrong one.
All right.
Sorry, my guys. Here we go. Yeah, you
Okay.
just run down your players for us.
Okay.
Let's know who we got.
First of all, we selected the seventh offensive lineman in the first round out of 8 overall. We all it was the fourth tackle out of 5 in round 1, and we selected offensive tackle Josh Connerly Jr. from Oregon. 3 guards were also selected in the first round, but I believe it was a good pick. He's ready to get on the field pretty much immediately. Uh, he's we solidified our offensive line for our franchise quarterback JD5 with this pick.
Mhm.
You got to protect your asset, which is the most important with all the pass rushes in the league, especially like the Giants, who's known for their pass rush, who selected Abdul Carter. Where I brought his name up because Connolly actually played against Abdul Carter this past year, and he didn't give up no sacks against him. So that's a plus right there. He only gave up 2 sacks all year last year, and the year before he gave up no sacks
Gotcha.
starting tackle. So I believe he's going to be a good one for us. He's going to solidify that line. Actually made our line come together with the trades we just made and everything. In the second round, which a lot of people believe is the steal of the entire draft, we got Trey Amos, cornerback from. We got where we at? Check my notes. Oh yeah, Trey Amos from. Where's give me some help? Where Trey Amos came from?
I think
Louisville.
was he Ole Miss? I think he Ole
Yeah,
Miss.
Ole Miss.
Ole
Ole
Miss.
Miss.
Ole Miss.
I can't even read my own notes.
He was a
But
transfer from Alabama,
had
I
a
think, wasn't
he had a first round grade in most of the mock drafts. So he slid to us. Most people think he was a first round pick, and I think he's pro ready to start right away with a training camp behind him and a rookie mini camp. I believe he'll get right on the field immediately. We didn't have a third round pick because of the Laramie Tunsil trade. But in the fourth round, we got a fast wide receiver in Jalen Lane out of Virginia Tech, who's to me like a mini Debo, but faster. Kid ran a 4.34 40 at the combine. He also was, I want to say, the number one punt returner / kick returner in Division One this year. So he also ran plays out of the backfield. So he reminds you a lot of Debo. Debo does those same sort of things, kick return, punt return, mostly not kick returns, but he runs out the backfield. This cat can do the same thing. He's a little smaller than Debo, but he's a lot faster than Debo. So in the fifth round, we didn't have a pick because of the Lattimore trade. So we go to the sixth round. We picked up a linebacker, Kane Madrano.
I like him.
Madrano is a converted wide receiver. He started his career as a wide receiver. He was one of the fastest linebackers with a 4.65 in the combine 40. And he has very long arms. He had 2 forced fumbles, 3 interceptions. Cat can move from sideline to sideline. 4.6 as a linebacker is pretty good. I believe he'll get on the field. He won't start, but he'll get some reps on the field, especially to give the old man a breather. B-Wags. So I think he'll touch the field some. And then we have what some people think may be the best athlete out of the entire draft. In the 7th round, we got running back Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. He only played 1 game because of eligibility issues, but the kid can fly. The kid is built like a rock. He's a one-cut runner. He has speed. He's just an athlete beyond measure, and if you don't look out, he's going to take somebody's position. And we got 4 good running backs on there last year. He can mess around and get in there and mess that up for somebody. So, yeah.
That's bit time, man. That's definitely bit time. Who, if I could ask you this question, who stands out to you the most, like that's really NFL ready when it comes time?
Well, Connolly is going to be a day 1 starter. He's going to protect JD5, but I do believe Amos will start once he get that training camp and mini camp in him.
Yeah.
But Lane will get plenty of touches. We lost a lot of our wide receiver room, and Lane does what we like to run on offense. He's that gadget player. He's fast. He can run the wide receiver screens. He can do the double reverse. You know, he could take it out the backfield. I think he'll get mixed in a lot, moving the ball up and down the field. But he has that home run speed, 4.34. So I think Lane will be the one to look out for, especially on the offensive side. But Trey Amos, I believe he'll start out the gate also, and he'll lock up some wide outs.
Amos is y'all best. That was y'all best pickup. He should have been. He was probably going to be a day one guy originally. Like we were saying during our live when we was watching the first round, there was a lot more tackles than previously expected. Offensive
Facts.
lineman. I think Amos would have been a day one guy. He balled out when he played at Alabama. He was a transfer to Ole Miss, but 59 tackles. This is a physical guy that y'all gonna need.
Mhm.
He's a tackling corner. Um, plays in the backfield a lot. That was y'all best pick, in my opinion. So
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that one. Cool. I said Amos, and actually I'm gonna go with Connerly Jr. If it was one pick, that everybody probably was frowning upon, come when was it, Thursday night? You can't have enough offensive linemen. Like offensive linemen, like they get hurt. Obviously, we had Sam Cosme get hurt last season. ACL, correct, Cup? If I'm not mistaken, he tore his
For
ACL.
Sam Cosme, yeah, he'll
Yeah,
be back
Cosme.
like middle of the season.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, you just look at it. We traded for offensive lineman or offensive tackle. We got another one. Like you can't have enough of those. Like it's just
Yeah.
depth at that point. But I
Keep your
agree.
eye out. Keep your eye out for Lane. He's super speedy, and like I said, he was the best kick return, punt return man in college last year. So he's gonna get some time to shine. He's gonna put up some numbers especially with the special teams. And Madrano also plays special teams. He's a good special teams player.
Yeah. Hey, dope takes, man. Marquise, you got
Yeah.
anything touching on these commanders, man, and who they drafted?
Now y'all touched on it. I was gonna say I like Trey Amos myself, but y'all done covered everything for the jump. So I'm just enjoying the show right now.
Yes, sir. We love to hear it. We love to hear it. I hope everybody's enjoying the NPR League and the shows that we produce, man. Yeah, man, the Washington Commanders, like we stated earlier, it's Mel Kiper Jr.'s his grade, but I give him a B plus too. Like Cup said, we don't have an edge rusher yet. We need one. But who's to say we won't trade for one, soon enough? So yeah, it goes like that. Hey,
And
cool.
keep
Yeah,
your
go ahead,
eye
go ahead.
out. Keep your eye out for Hendrickson. If he can't get that
Cincinnati
contract,
Bengals.
yeah, if he can't get that contract with Cincinnati, we still have money available. We might get one. That might be the thinking since we weren't able to get what we wanted out of the draft. And he's a good one. He had 17 and a half sacks the last 2 years. One in which he won this year, he won the most sacks. Last year, he was tied for second with those same 17 and a half behind TJ Watt.
Oh
But
wow.
I do have a draft tidbit for you guys. I know this is a little off the beat here, but we
Let's
did
go.
also pick up 5 unrestricted free agents. Undrafted free agents
Hmm.
directly after the draft. Those kids that didn't get drafted, you can sign them immediately. Um, and a couple of them are pretty interesting. The most interesting one to me, I'm gonna tell you his name here. His name is Robert McDaniels, a safety from Jackson State. He's 6'2", 210. He's built solid as a rock. He was coached by Deion Sanders, the best defensive back to ever play the game. And this guy, he's ready. I think he's gonna make the team. And the reason I say that is because last year we had 2 undrafted free agents actually make our team. Um, Last year out of the ones we picked up, like I want to say 12 UDFAs last year. 2 of them made our team, made the 53-man roster. So this guy is interesting to me.
Yeah.
We also gave training camp invite.
Jackson State.
Yeah, from Jackson State. He was coached by Dion when Dion was there. Um, we also gave a training camp invite to Sean Taylor's younger brother, who played at Rice University, Gabe Taylor. He's a
Gabe
little
Taylor.
short,
Yeah.
5'7", 168. He also is pretty fast. He ran a 4.38 and a 40 at Rice's pro day. So I don't know if he'll make the team, but we did give him a training camp invite.
That's
That's
bit
what I
time,
got.
man. That's bit time. Cool. Was you about to say something, bro?
no. I'm moving from
Okay.
that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Speaking of the Midwest Monster, man, good take, Cup. Coca Mitch. Great take, man. Great take on our Commanders, man. I'm eager to see what's going on. But yo, let's move to that NFC North, man. These boys right here, I ain't even gonna hold y'all, man. They put some Ben Johnson put some work in. I don't
Yeah,
know if it's
man.
committee or what happened, but go ahead, cool. I'm gonna let you go. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Yes, man. Let's talk about it, man. We call ourselves the Midwest Monsters out here, man. They call themselves AKA Monsters of the Midway, man. Let's talk about them Chicago Bears, man. Some good and some bad here. I'm gonna
So let me let
actually
me let, let me cut you off right quick. So how you feel with this grade first and foremost?
that's
Okay.
what I was about to address. First and foremost, with the grade, I'm gonna actually slightly disagree with this grade. I'm gonna go
Okay.
C plus, not B plus.
Okay.
Um, um, let's start here, man. If you don't mind, if you got that draft order from on the screen for me, Bo. Let's go here, man. First round.
Let me get you up.
We talked about it live on IG, ladies and gentlemen. Uh, first a minute to come. If y'all not following us on socials, man, please go do so. We put them in the we're gonna have to put those in the description, Bo,
Yeah,
so everyone
definitely.
can go follow us. But I digress, man. Let's get to it, man. First round. We was talking about it live, man. I've slept on it. I feel okay about it. Um, they went with tight end out of Michigan, Coastal Loveland. Uh, we can call it how we see it. This guy is a receiver. He was just born a little bit too big. Parents gave him a little bit too much genealogy. He just a few pounds too big. But this guy was supposed to be a wide receiver, man. Good hands, good catch radius. Um, he's gonna be a threat all over the field. This is a guy that's gonna work in the intermediate parts. This is a guy that's gonna be able to get open and down the field. Got good speed. Um, the Bears, by all accounts, man, this is the guy that Ben Johnson wanted. He patterns him after Sam Laporta. That was obviously a big part of Ben Johnson's success. Not only last year but the year before, with Sam Porter's rookie year being one of the most iconic rookie years for any tight end as far as touchdowns are concerned. And Ben says he sees him in the same light. Pardon me. In the pre-draft process, man, they both loved each other. Colston loved Ben Johnson, and Ben Johnson loved him back, man. So they went with the tight end out of Michigan over Tyler Warren. Um, we'll see how that play. We'll see how that plays out. But as of right now, man, I'm not mad at it at all, man. This guy's going to contribute. He's going to get on the field. I believe day one. Ben Johnson does like a lot of two receiver set. So with Cole Kmet being a duo threat as far as a good blocker and also a good pass catcher, that's probably he'll be doing a lot more blocking under Ben Johnson's scheme. We'll see Coastal Loveland doing probably more of the route running. Second round. Can't say enough about this one either, man. This is also another guy that Ben Johnson connected with, says he loved. Luther Burden the third, man. If this guy came out in the previous draft, he'd have won the round one. He probably would have been a top 10 pick this past season. This is a guy from Missouri. In 2023, he had a breakout year of 1,400 yards, man. Great, just an electric season in 2023. However, in the next season, the quarterback got injured, offensive line injuries. Uh, not as good of a tape necessarily this year, but this dude is electric, man. This dude he's hard to bring down. He fights after the catch. This is going to be a yards after catch dude. This is going to be a guy that you don't necessarily. This isn't just a go route. This ain't going to be necessarily just your down the field threat. He does have good speed, but this dude is good in the intermediate game. He's going to be a contribution. Everybody had a round one grade on him if it wasn't for this past season with some of just the overall numbers, man. Just came down, and that's the only reason he slipped a little bit. So this is another guy that could have went on day one. I'm very happy with this. Yet another threat for Caleb Williams, another guy that we're gonna help him build with as far as speed is concerned.
Yeah.
Um, the other picks in round two, I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna go with let's talk about Ozzy Trapillo at 56. Hold on. Let me go back one. Luther Burden III was an excellent pick. I love this pick. This was an
I think
excellent
it
pick.
was too. Yeah.
However, the reason that I'm going C plus instead of B plus to with Mel is because this is where I wanted my running back. This is where we needed a back. As I said previously, man, I was shooting for the skies, hoping that maybe Amarian Hampton would be there. He was there, but we went with Coastal Loveland.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fret over it. I'm not gonna lose. I'm not gonna go. But this one right here, this was the one that hurt me honestly, because one pick ahead of us, the New England Patriots at 38, they took Travion Henderson, co-commission's guy that he highlighted a couple of weeks ago.
Hmm.
This is where I wanted him. We got Luther Burden at 39. I like the pick. I'm not gonna poo poo it, but this is where I wanted my running back. We needed to improve the running back room. DeAndre Swift had a good year last year, um, and we'll talk about the other running back that we picked up later. Ozzy Trapillo, a lot of people saying our other round two pick later on. Um, he's good. Got some good and bad. I'm I'm just glad that we're adding depth to the offensive line. We've had some injury issues over the years at offensive line. This is obviously the the biggest key point to what we needed to improve going into this year at offensive line. So we adding more depth. I like it. Shamar Turner, uh, this was another good pick. I didn't necessarily love this pick either because once again I was shooting for a running back. Somebody else, I forget who it was that took Quinshon Judkins. He was already gone, and then Travion Henderson went at 38 right ahead of us. I still wanted to improve the running back room. Uh, they chose to go defensive tackle. We do need defensive line help. We'll see how this guy works out. He had an excellent year. He had some injury issues last year, but this is a dude that tested well. He's coming back from a leg injury. We get Andrew Billings back on our defensive line, so they're hoping that this is kind of his backup, and they'll split playing time, get some extra defensive line depth. I'm not necessarily mad at that. Ruben Hapilot, the linebacker that they went with in round 4. I didn't love this pick. Once again, we're evading the running back room that I feel like was the need that I felt like we could really address in the draft. This is a guy that ran a 4.3 at the combine, so he blew people's kind of doors off. A lot of people supposedly hearing from some of the scouts and hearing from some of the people that were grading. Some of these people said that they thought he might be undrafted before the combine. He had a great combine. He ran well, tested well, caught a lot of people's eyes. I mean, I'm hearing that he's probably going to be a special teams guy to start out. We'll see how he breaks into the lineup. I don't think linebacker was necessarily that big of a need for us. We got two really good linebackers. I didn't love this pick right here. Za Frazier, this is another 4.3 guy at the combine. This is another guy I didn't hear much about him before the draft. I didn't necessarily watch a lot of Texas San Antonio University, but another 4.36 guy. He is a physical guy. I'm watching some of his highlights, watching some of his tape. This is a feast of famine dude. He likes to clue a lot. He likes to look into the backfield, but he is physical. He does bring added depth to the defensive background. Luke Newman, as far as I'm concerned, that's just more of a camp body, more of a guy that they'll try to maybe work into the rotation later on down the year. I'm not really hearing a lot of people planning saying, that they're expecting a lot out of him early on. We'll see. Finally, in round 7, they go Manangai. I still haven't figured out if that's the correct pronunciation for his name. But listen, man,
Rutgers.
I wanted to address this early on in the year. Yeah, running back out of Rutgers. Like I said, I wanted to address this early on in the draft. They waited later on. Um, this guy did lead the did lead the Big Ten in rushing last year. 256 carries, 1,400 yards, 13 touchdowns. was very, very productive. Um, I'm surprised he kind of fell that late in the draft. So, but if he did fall that late in the draft with leading the Big Ten in rushing, it just kind of raises my eyebrows a little bit. Like, why was he there at that point? So, like I
Gotcha.
said, man, the reason this isn't a B plus for me is right there at that second pick with Luther Burden. I love Luther Burden. I'm not mad at the pick. Like I said, gives more weapons to Caleb Williams. But I really, really, really wanted Travion Henderson. He was sitting right there, the all do it all purpose guy, catching out of the backfield. A lot of people may think that Quinshawn Judkins is a lot of people think Quinshawn Judkins may be a little better than him. I don't, I thought that was the spot right there. It set up perfect, and the Patriots robbed us. But all in all, C plus grade. I'm glad going into the year. Obviously, as we said, Ben Johnson had his fingerprints all over this draft, and I'm not going. I'm gonna give him a C plus grade. Like I said, this could be a B plus if we address the running back position earlier on in the draft.
Hey, I agree. Hey, cool. I agree with you, bro. Like looking at it, 3 second round draft picks, right? Um, you got to address the running back situation. Whether you believe in Swift or not, you know that running back room kind of hurt y'all last season. You know what I'm saying? So
You
I
know,
agree exactly what you're saying.
who I think would have been perfect for them. Because if you go with like how Detroit got like the thunder and lightning, so to say, you could call Swift the
Let me
lightning.
know so I can hear walk
But
around or
I
walk
think
around.
Yeah.
Scatterboo would have been great for you guys.
Mm.
He would have been that thunder. He went at what 105. He was picked 105. So I don't know if y'all actually had 3 second round picks. So I thought he was perfect for you guys. Scatterboo,
Scottaboo.
the
Yeah,
running
I
back
wouldn't.
from
I wouldn't have been mad at that either. Even the guy.
Arizona State.
I know. A lot of people feel like Denver reached at 60 going R.J. Harvey,
Hmm.
the running back out of UCF. But
Yes.
he was also very productive in his time there. I wouldn't have necessarily been mad at that with the second pick instead of the offensive tackle Trapilo. I personally I would have rather seen that, but offensive line depth is very, very important. We've been
Yeah.
lamenting that for about 2 years now. The Caleb Williams and Justin Fields spent a lot of time on their ass the last couple of years. The offensive line has been one of the worst in football. Everybody knows that about my team. So they got to add the depth. I'm not mad at it. I just really, really wanted a productive running back at that spot, and the Patriots robbed us. So
And those, I mean, you look at it, three second rounders, bro. They really could have got a running back, a
Yeah.
former running back. Like I definitely agree with that. Definitely agree with that one right there. Hey, once again, man, great. I still give them a B plus though. I understand where you're coming from, but I still give them a B plus. Only reason I said that because they actually addressed, what they needed. They was one of the teams that I was looking at their draft and I was like, okay, they actually addressed everything that they needed, but still, that running back should have been higher. Great take, fellas, man. Great take. I'm gonna go up next, man. Save the champ for last. Um, this team right here, man. I'm going with the Ravens. I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens, man. Mel Kiper gave them an A. Me personally, I give them a B plus. But I just feel like this team addressed everything that they needed plus some. You know why I was the plus on? Because they was one of the teams that had 11 draft picks, like 11 of those things. You know what I'm saying? Quiet as kept. They had 11 of those things. You got one of the top ranked offenses in the league. So what do you do? What do you do as a coach, as a GM? What do you do if your offense is already intact? What do? You go defense.
Heavy
You
defense.
go heavy defense. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens on this. I'm gonna elaborate on the players that I want to elaborate on, and then we can go from there. But I'm gonna start with this one, man. Malachi starts, bro. Malachi starts, man. Georgia. If you don't know who he is, please do your research. Please, there's a reason why they picked him first round on the opposite side of Humphreys, Marlon Humphreys. That is, you know what I'm saying. Got to bolster that second level
or some people might want to say the third level, but he's a safety. You got to boast at that level right there because you just have to, man. Like who they play, what they play, they Kansas City's still in the way. You got to look at it like for what it is. Kansas City is still in the way. You got teams like the Cincinnati Bengals and the AFC still in the way. You got teams now like the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, not the Baltimore Ravens, excuse me. I'm talking about that team. The Pittsburgh Steelers. They're in the way. And I'm talking about wide receiver standpoint with DK to George Pickens. Kansas City, they always gonna have a wide receiver. Whoever is up, Rasheed Rice, you know what I'm saying? Hollywood Brown is healthy now. Did D Hop sign back with them? Is he signing back with them?
No,
No,
Okay,
not currently. No.
not
no.
currently. You know what I'm saying? So it's teams out there that's still in the way. Like I said, Malachi starts, bro. Like I don't even got to elaborate too much on this guy, man. Like he's
He's gonna
that
be
guy
a
for real, man.
beast back there with Kyle Hamilton.
He's
Oh
a
my
perfect
God.
fit for them, man. You know what I'm saying? A perfect fit for them. It's hard to think of any prospect like for real in the recent years that seemed more ready than like I think he's NFL ready. You know what I'm saying? First round pick. So there's a reason for that, man. So starts to bring that premier playmaking ability, athleticism, smarts, and leadership. You know what I'm saying? Starks is wired like a raven. Like that's what they're calling him. He's already there, man. And he checks every box. So that's first round pick, man. Malakar starts. After that, second round, man, Mike Green. I know I
Virginia
wanted him on
Beach.
my team.
Virginia Beach.
I know I wanted him on my team. I mean, they addressed the edge situation. I feel like Mike Green could be that guy for them. To do that, and then you just go for so forth. Emory Jones Jr. He's another one. LSU product, SEC. O lineman, man. Like I said, you can't have too many of these guys. People get hurt. You need the depth, just like a defensive lineman. You need the depth, and then it goes on to Ted Buchanan out of California. He's the inside linebacker. They needed to address that. Like they really addressed everything they needed plus more because they had 11 picks. Alabama AM shit. I can't even talk. Excuse me, y'all. Alabama A&M. Offensive tackle, round 5. There go another one off the bench. Carson Vincent. So, and then you look at the 6th round. Look, that's 5 players that they got, but the biggest one I wouldn't say the biggest one. The 2 biggest ones. Tyler Loop to me, man, like no other team drafted a kicker but the Baltimore Ravens. They
Mm.
needed one. Obviously, if you don't know what's going on in the news with Justin Tucker, make yourself aware of it. They address what they needed. You know what I'm saying for the long haul. This is my sleeper right here, man. LaJohntay Webster from Colorado, the guy that Shedeur Saunders threw to outside of Travis Hunter. I really think he's going to be special with them. Zach Orr knew what he was doing on the defensive side, but the offensive side, to add another weapon to what they already have, and they possibly could, trade a Mark Andrews. Yeah, you need another weapon. You definitely need another weapon. And for LJA, Lamar Jackson, you can't keep running Derrick Henry into the ground like that. He's that goal line back, so you need another weapon on the outside. But other than that, man, I really think the Ravens had a solid draft. A solid draft. Like I said, 11 picks that they had, 5 of those was in the 6th round, and they smashed it out the park. They really did. Those are my players that stood out to me, especially like I said, Malachi Starks, man. To me, he's NFL ready. They deserve the A. Don't get me wrong. The only reason I'm sticking with that because I'm just like a team that has that many picks and address what they address. Yeah, they did their homework. They did what they were supposed to do. So, yeah, man, the Baltimore Ravens was my pick. I couldn't think of any other team that had a more solid,
Those
draft.
first three picks are all starters.
Yeah,
All starters, and probably at some point will all be major contributors, but specifically starters.
Yes. Mike Green led the NCAA in sacks this past year. The Virginia Beach native, we got sniped for him. I believe the Commanders would have got him if he was there.
yeah, I believe it. We definitely need a linebacker. We definitely do.
Yeah.
And still do. You know what I'm saying? And he's edge. He's the edge rush.
He's
So
he's the fastest edge that came out of the draft.
yeah, definitely do. Yeah,
And then
man. That
you did touch on Baltimore maybe looking to trade Mark Andrews, but why not? They got Isaiah Likely there. I think he outproduced Andrews or gave at least the same amount of production as Andrews.
hey, do you think it's because of that drop in the playoffs
It could
in the
be.
AFC Championship game?
Could
That was
be.
a bit drop, man.
That drop took them out of the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I think they're
yeah,
also one of those teams too in Baltimore that just because they've had success over the recent years, they still need to retool. Like, you know what I mean? So Mark Andrews, I think
yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, he already turned 30, if I'm not mistaken, or he's about to turn 30, if I'm not mistaken. So they probably, it's probably wise to to start moving in the direction over the next year or two. Like you said, Derrick Henry getting up there in years. Lamar, obviously, he'll be good for the time being. But they probably one of those teams where it's probably wise for them to go get some major contributors now. That way, you could build them up for a year or two while the vets are still in place, and then give it over to them as the Lamar Jackson era continues. You're gonna have to keep retooling. You know what I mean? You
Right.
got to keep giving them
Absolutely.
weapons. You got to keep
Absolutely.
protecting them.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. Definitely. And to speak on this too, man, Webster, wide receiver from Colorado, he actually transferred from FAU. You know what I'm saying? So he transferred. He only played one season at Colorado, but the previous year he had 1,168 yards, 8 touchdowns. He went to Colorado, slightly under 1,000 yards, 931, but he had 10 tutties. So that just shows that he can produce. You know what I'm saying, with the Zay Flowers, the Batemans of the world. So yeah, those are my Ravens. Hey, we rolling right along, fellas. You already know
Yes,
what we
sir.
do, man. Marquise, man, you already know what it is, man. Last but not least, man, we gotta
Woo,
get into it, bro. Let's go.
woo. Here we go.
I know you've been itching for it, man. Let's go. We got to talk about keep pounding, man. Pause.
Hey, man, my boys, man. Let's see, man. Ah,
Now, Kiper
I,
gave him a C plus. Do
I
you
don't even
agree?
agree with that. I wouldn't agree with at first. After the first round, I would agree with it. Yeah, C plus, man. But then as the draft went on, hey man, Carolina hit this out the park, dog. I give them a B plus. Like there is
Okay.
no way. Like you got Bryce Young, a nice young weapon that's clearly going. He should transition into a number one wide receiver in terms of NFL status. And
Yeah.
then you also go out and then you just you focus in on the main what really killed us last year. We had no rush, no pass rush, no outside presence at all. And then they went and get two guys and back-to-back picks basically. And my God, Texas A&M outside linebacker Nick Scorton. Oh my God, I don't even know how I didn't even pay attention to him during the draft
I didn't
process.
either until they drafted him and then I YouTubed him.
Man, easily, I say he's top two defensive player in the SEC. Easily. And that ain't even because Carolina, drafted him. Like legit, I just did not know nothing of it. This guy is a baller. He can pass rush. He can play back in the pass. Like the kid is amazing. Like that's right there. That's my pick of the draft for Carolina right there. That Nick Scorton. Oh my God, they
Yeah.
basically got a first round talent later on in the second round. That is, I really do. I really like that pick. And then I ain't even gonna speak on the first one because I still don't even know how I feel, but I feel like it was the right move so far. So I don't want to speak too soon on it because I ain't gonna say he gonna come in and be like if he come in and he have an impact like a Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson type, then I could easily say, you know what, I eat my words, and that's why they get paid to do this, and I don't.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
That
We'll
man
see.
reminds me of Puka.
And
You
He
think so? Look,
that's who
I
I
think it
compare him with. Puka
look, I think
Nakua.
it I think he a little bigger, man. I
Too
like
big.
some people
Too
go
big to
on
be
Mike
he
Puka.
more of
Evans.
a Mike
Puka
Evans. Yeah.
Yeah,
Puka's a
look,
big
some people said
receiver.
Mike
Y'all,
Evans, but look, I said Michael
Puka's
Thomas.
big.
from the Saints.
Mike Thomas, yeah,
Mike
Mike
Thomas. You
Thomas,
can't guard
because he
Mike.
got large hands. The guy got a
Yeah.
crazy catch radius.
Yeah, he big.
Man, Puka's
Also,
big, man. Y'all gotta check Puka out, man. Puka a big receiver, man.
Oh yeah.
then we also this pick I wasn't too thrilled about. That's the whole thing that I was like, maybe I didn't feel like it was A or A plus worthy, A minus, because we went running back, and I was like, I get it in a sense, but then again I don't, because now it's just like, what about Jonathan Brooks? Are y'all gonna give up on him, and we really don't know what he has to offer? Yeah,
He gonna be
he's toward the same ACL. I get it. He's young though. Like, it's not like he torn and he's
he
29,
gonna,
30.
he gonna miss most of the season.
Hey, no, he's not. He's actually gonna be, if everything go fine and they take, clearly now we're gonna take our time bringing them back. We're 9 times out of 10. That means, just off this pick alone, I'm forecasting that means we're not gonna have him this season. They rather just take this year off. You know, had 2 season injuries, ending injuries back to back. Take this year off. That's why they got Rico Dowdle for a 1-year loaner. Then you got Trevor Etienne. So just in case Jonathan Brooks don't work out, you still have Chuba for the next 4 years. You got Trevor Etienne. So if he work out, now we could say we messed up by drafting Brooks, but at this point it's just like it's the long game when it comes to that. So that was the only iffy part about the draft process, that I was just like, but like I said, he's still a weapon. It's another weapon for Bryce Young. And Kamish highlighted this guy earlier in the draft process. So,
Yeah.
since Kamish like him, there's something he saw for a reason. So, I'm big on that. This one, another big one, Lathan Ransom. My God. I think we have another diamond in the rough too. Hey, I really like his tape. His game
Head
film.
buster. Head
Man,
buster.
what? Talking about attack. He is not afraid to tackle at all. And I love it. I love it. He gonna bring that energy to the defense. We've been missing that dog. We need that dog on defense. And I think even as a rookie, I don't think he gonna come in and start. There's a chance, but I think he probably 3-4 games into the season he'll start. But it's just like, yeah, he a dog. And the next one, I like it, but it's like it's gonna be tough. Jimmy Horn Jr. I love Jimmy Horn Jr.
Hey, people high on him though, not just because who he is.
Man, hey, the film, I told one thing I tell people, film don't lie. And he is a baller too.
Yep.
Like, man, that last name says it all. And we also got another horn on our team, but that's a different story. He also the highest paid cornerback in NFL history, but that's a
JC.
different story.
JC.
I just hope Jimmy Horn do enough. It's gonna be hard because the way our wide receiver
Are
coordinator.
they related? Are they related?
I think they are. I think they're cousins.
Okay.
Jimmy Horn, his pops played, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played for the greatest show on turf.
Yeah, he played for the greatest show on turf.
He got a chip.
Yeah.
Hey man, I got it. My bad. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I got to tell you.
Go ahead.
I got to tell you too. I went to go after the draft, or getting ready for this. I went to go check out Shamar Turner, our 4th round pick from Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
Watching some of his highlights, he get every time he get a half a sack. Guess who was sitting right there next to him?
Nick
Scourton.
My God.
Nick Scourton.
They got them one.
I love to hear it.
It was either in the middle of that line when it was somebody making a hit in the middle of the pile, or in the A gap. It was either Shamar Turner or Nick Scourton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, it's even. I'm gonna go back to Jonathan Brooks, right? He just turned 21. So
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you. I definitely agree with you, bro, when you say, man, just sit down. Let Rico Dowdle, let Chuba Hubbard, you know what I'm saying, do what they do. And you learn from them while you down and get back healthy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's 2 ACL tears in 2 years, but at the same time, bro, sit down for a moment. You're 21 years old. Like, that's not, that's young in the running back years.
Yeah, you don't have to rush yourself back. You're gonna do more harm than anything else by rushing back.
Yeah, that's young, and it's crazy because I remember you and Kokamish used to talk about. I mean, so y'all debated him all last season.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Actually, Revenge has a good point. Being that they did sign Rico Dowdle to a 1-year contract because he's not going anywhere because he was a first round draft pick.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he's under contract for 4 years.
yeah. He
So
can't do no, he can't do
next
nothing
year will
but
be
get
his
healthy.
3rd year. If they give him the whole year off just to rehab and get right, he'll have that 4th year to prove it. And if he do prove it, they can hit him with the 5th year option, or they
Option.
could just
Yeah.
let him go. So I think they can't let him go. They're gonna pay him. So they're giving him every opportunity, I think, to rehab and get healthy, and then that 4th year they're gonna see what they got with him. Like I said, because a first round pick, you got to at least see what he got healthy,
Something. Yeah, you feel
and
me?
if he shows in the middle of the season, they can hit him with the 5th year option, or they can be like, we're not gonna pick him up, let him hit the free agent market.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
like it. I like what Carolina did, especially not like I said, the wide receiver room. We still got Jalen Coker. I'm high on Jalen Coker. I don't care what nobody say. Hey, I love Jay. I know he's a ball. Our wide receiver for core has went from being a weakness to now. I really look at it as a strength. We got a bunch of young dudes with a veteran that still can get out there with the best of them, and it's like, man, dog, I'm excited. Listen to me. I ain't been this excited for Carolina football in a while. I'm gonna go
Hey,
put
and you got to be excited too, man, because like Bryce came along last. You know what I'm saying?
fine. I've
I'm,
been preaching it, and I'm
you
gonna keep
know,
preaching it until he win MVP and bring us our Super Bowl. Watch what
I
I tell
want to
you.
see what the midway monsters got with a actual coach, somebody that's gonna run an offense for Caleb. Because it's no secret, I actually wanted the Commanders to get Caleb.
I
He's
did,
a
and I
DC.
didn't.
He's DC bred. He's a DC. He's a hometowner for our squad. So I don't think he had a chance last year with that line he had. He led the
Yeah,
rookies and the whole league in sacks by a
Early
tremendous amount.
spicy take. Early spicy take. I think the
yeah.
Bears will finish with a top 10 offense.
I
But they're
believe
in
it
a
too.
tough division. They're in a tough division. That division is tough.
Top 10 offense, though. I call it. They're gonna finish with a top 10 offense.
I'm trying
Hey,
not to get. I'm trying not to get overly. I don't even want to go there yet. I'm gonna give. I got a couple more months before I gotta really dig in and
hey, but I will.
let
You
it be
you,
happen.
you talking about sticky hot take? I will say this: if anybody in that division is going to regress, and y'all can do what y'all want to do and
Hey,
scorn me if you want to, I think the Lions going to regress, bro. So it leaves room for those Bears to do what they're supposed to do.
Look, they lost
It,
a hell of an offensive coordinator who
yeah,
the
they did.
Bears
I
gained as
think
a
the
head
Lions going to
coach. So
regress,
yeah,
man.
I agree.
I think the Lions going to regress, and I really think that the Packers, you know, yeah,
Packers,
they got Matthew Golden. Don't get me wrong, but I just feel like they about to lose Jair Alexander at any moment. I just don't think the defense gonna be there for them, man. I really don't. You can have all the offense in the world, like I just don't think the defense is gonna be
Yeah, yeah.
there for real. Yeah. So, hey, great teams, man. Great takes, great picks. You know, for these teams, we just gotta wait and see. You already know what it is. Just gotta wait and see. Hey, before we get out of here, you already know we got like, you know, we always got some controversy that goes on when it comes to our news or whatnot, man. We got to talk about this guy right here, man. I don't know how y'all feel. I really don't even know how I feel. I feel blah about it, and I've been all weekend long leading up to the day. I really feel blah. Like I really don't have any emotions towards it, to be honest with you, because I don't feel like anyone was wrong in this situation. Only person I feel like was wrong in this situation, and this is who we were about to talk about. Shedeur Sanders is Atlanta Falcons defensive coordinator's son that prank called my boy. You know what I'm saying? Like that's yeah, that was whack. That right there shouldn't happen.
yes,
But
sir.
Shedeur Sanders, man, he took a slump in the draft. You know, some people, I wish I had the clip for us, but some people saying that it was from a previous clip with the NFL Combine when he was saying that, you know, NFL culture or NFL teams should adjust to him. You know what I'm saying? They should do what he brings to the table, right? That's what I took it as, and I thought that probably was, what it was. Some people say it was hating. They don't like Deion Sanders. They don't want him in the league. But yeah, man, we already hear the elephant in the room. Shedeur Sanders did get drafted 5th round. You know, 1 round better than Tom Brady, but look what Tom Brady produced. So as long as he got drafted, to me, I don't feel any type of weight. You know, some people wanted him to go 1st round. I don't feel no type of way about it, man. Like a team is a team, it's a business. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. So yeah, man, let's get into it, man. Hey, cool. I'm gonna start with you if you allow me to, man. Like Shedeur Sanders, man. Your take, how you feel, and here we are.
Obviously us watching the first round together. This was obviously a little bit of a roller coaster on the first day. As you said, man, I don't necessarily think the story is about him not going on day one. Um, there was a limited amount of teams that needed a quarterback on day one.
Yeah,
There was a limited amount of teams that were going to be willing to draft a quarterback that high in round one. So okay, that's fine. Um, I think for me, I'll keep it this in order. The blame that he needs to take is obviously you have to understand how to talk to these people. And what I mean is, uh, sometimes you do got to play a little bit of the game. You don't have to kiss nobody ass. You don't have to bow down to nobody necessarily. But you have to understand how to play the game. You got to understand how an interview process goes. People are trying to poke holes in you. People are trying to see pause. People are trying to see where they can find your weaknesses at. And we heard a lot about that over the course of the draft. Um, I will say we probably have to give a little bit of. I got to give some of this blame. I got to give some of this blame to my main man, Coach Prime. Love him. Arguably my favorite athlete of all time. But some of the handling behind Shedeur's process has to be attributed to you, because you were very vocal about the fact that you were leading him in this process. He didn't have an agent. Um, some of these things that people were turned off by are some things that you may have been able to prevent
yeah,
at the helm of this process. And also, I mean, some comments were made on public platforms, and I think we all know, man, these NFL owners. One thing about the NFL that's totally different from any other league, the NBA, MLB. Those NFL owners will always retain the power. They don't give a damn about entertainment. They don't
right.
give a damn about touchdowns and cheerleaders and none of that shit. They care about power and money. And when you go as Prime and you speak somewhat boastfully as you did about Shedeur be gone by pick 4 or this and that, and you know you spoke a little bit down on certain organizations. I'm not saying that anything he said was wrong, because I kind of agree with most of his comments in those moments. But you got to understand how to play the game sometimes. Now that we've heard all that a million times, why won't
Mhm.
anybody tell you that this kid took 94 sacks in 2 years and he
Yeah,
only missed one game? Why
Mhm.
won't they tell you that he didn't just have a good completion percentage last year? Everybody keeps trying to tell me, oh, well, last year they were throwing a lot of screens and a lot of slants to Travis Hunter. He averages a 70% completion percentage from
yeah,
his 2 years at Jackson State and his 2 years at Colorado. His average completion percentage is 70%. It wasn't just last year. He was 65 at Jackson State. He was
Mhm.
70 in his 2 years at Colorado. 94
mm,
sacks, met many more hits than he took sacks, and he only missed one game. They won't tell you, as we just lamented with Jimmy Horn Jr., with Webster, and obviously Travis Hunter.
uh,
Multiple of his receivers made it to the NFL. I'm trying to figure out if these receivers are making it into the NFL and some of those guys were on the fringe. How do you look me in the face and tell me that a guy that got 3 receivers into the NFL isn't somehow a high level thrower? You're also gonna try to convince me that a guy in Tyler Shook, who's 26 years old and has 3 seasons that were ended by knee injury, is somehow more reliable with three significant knee injuries in 3 back-to-back years. That he's somehow more reliable than a guy who got hit on virtually every play and only missed one game. You're also not going to talk about the fact that he threw for over 4,000 yards last year with that horrible offensive line. So we've heard all the bad. I just wanted to make sure we lamented some of the good. I'm not going. I could go on and on for days, but I want to let my brother speak. I don't want to get too long-winded. I do. And also, let's go ahead and let's get out the myth. There's not 5 quarterbacks on the Browns roster. Everybody keeps saying they don't know if he's going to make the team because there's 5 quarterbacks. There's not 5 quarterbacks on the roster. Deshaun Watson is a non-factor. That is a non-factor. Joe Flacco is about to turn 372 years old. That is a non-factor, and he doesn't want to be the starting quarterback for this team. He has no desire.
He just want to come in when his number called.
Yeah, he's not threatening the starting quarterback position. That means that you have the young quarterback out of Oregon and Kenny Pickett to compete with. So this will be a training camp battle. This is not just, there's 5 quarterbacks on the roster. I don't know if he should even make the team. There's 3 quarterbacks that he has to compete with. So we'll see how this training camp plays out. I've obviously got a few emotions behind it, man. I didn't like watching this. I know that this isn't just about football. If I read you all those intangibles and I told you that the guy was coached by one of the greatest athletes that ever lived, if I told you that guy was, I don't know, a 6'2" white guy, maybe this conversation goes different. But some of those intangibles, they matter. The process before the draft, that matters. Rubbing people the wrong way, that matters. I can't discount that. But this guy is not a 5th round quarterback, and I think he's going to show that this year.
I disagree. Here come bad news. I'm going to touch on 2 of the points that you made. The first one is the agent thing. I'm gonna take it to you like this. When you go to court, you got to use the system how the system is supposed to be used. When you go to court, you need to have a lawyer.
Agreed.
When you're going in the NFL draft, you need an agent. The agent could have stopped some of the mess, I'm gonna call it mess, that he had going on. Like a lot of this bravado and social media. He was doing too much. An agent could have calmed all that down, and an agent could have got him in the right place to see the right teams. The agent could have did his job. He didn't have that at all. So he just going off of this and this and that. The second thing I'm going to go about that you touched on was he played for his daddy. That's all he ever played for his whole life. Coach Prime coached him his whole career. He never played for nobody else. He don't know nobody else's playbook, which he cannot read a playbook. They said his interviews was horrible. He can't call plays. He said something like, that was a bad play call. They asking you a question. You talking about that's a bad play call. They don't want to hear that. They want to hear you break down the X's and O's. He can't do that. He only ran one offense, the one that Prime had basically for him. Because that's his dad and that's his quarterback, his son. He don't know the X's and O's like these.
I'm only gonna cut you off one time, Cup. I promise I'm only gonna cut you off one time. You're getting that from them. How many times have you heard misinformation come from these teams because they don't like a particular player or they want certain information out there? You're getting that information from them. Yeah, I heard those same things. I'm
going by what I see. Every NFL team passed on them multiple times. So if you're getting bad, false information, every team gonna pass on you 5 times.
It's all they did. Pay attention to when Lamar Jackson was a free agent. That's all I gotta say.
Lamar Jackson went in what round?
No, when he was a free agent and he was trying to go out and get it. Well, he wasn't a free agent. He was coming up. He was trying to get a contract.
He has his own agent.
The Ravens said, "Hey, you can go out and find you a trade." Why out? No, 31 of the other teams, even the ones nobody caught in.
Because his mom was his agent. You got to use the system, like
it's
I
called
just said.
collusion.
The way the system
it's called
collusion. His mom don't know what she's doing. She just got the title.
Gave up all that stuff for Deshaun Watson. Why couldn't another team do the same for Lamar Jackson?
Because Deshaun Watson had the greatest agent ever.
Collusion.
He had an agent, bro.
Collusion.
An agent matters. You have to
No,
use
they
the
don't.
system.
Agent
The
is
way
only
the
there to
system.
take your money.
You go to court without a lawyer
Agent is
and
only
see
there
how
to
you
take your
get
money.
ramrodded.
Agent is actually one of the
An
worst
agent
things
is
you
in
can
the
have
game
most of the
for a
time
reason.
because they
He
rob
didn't have
you
a
of
lot
money.
of people looking at him because he didn't have an agent. His mama was his agent. She don't know what she doing.
And yet he still
got a job.
got a
You might
big
not think that
contract.
their job is important.
How did he still
but
get
they
a
have
big
treacherous
contract?
job, man.
How did he still get a big contract with his mom being his agent?
Because he stayed with the same team. They realized
Because
they
he
couldn't
stayed
let
with
him
the
go.
same agent. It's because collusion happened, and we ain't gonna pay that price. Who ain't gonna pay that price for one of the most dynamic quarterbacks in the NFL right now?
Hey,
Come on, man. It's called. Hey, everybody saw it clear as day. There's no reason for Shedeur Sanders to slip to the 5th round. I don't care what his interviews look like. You mean to tell me
He did say all three of his wide receivers made the league.
How
Maybe
can
his
Johnny
receivers made him.
Manziel and Baker Mayfield make it in the 1st round with more? They had worse stories coming out than what we just hearing these little random rumors a couple days before the draft. We saw what Johnny Manziel was doing the entire year in school. We saw what Baker Mayfield, the grabbing his nuts, and we saw all that. Yet they still went 1st round. There's no excuse for this.
And they balled out. He was a Heisman Trophy winner. These people you talking about won Heisman trophies.
First
He
pick.
put up numbers. Listen, man, this
Shedeur
guy ain't even a
produced the
rookie,
Heisman
man.
Trophy winner.
He's
Shedeur
not gonna
produced
win
the
the
Heisman
team.
Trophy winner.
Who was a Heisman Trophy winner?
He
I'm not
produced
saying that
just
Shedeur
like
is-
him.
I'm not
Travis
saying
Hunter.
that Shedeur is better than Travis Hunter, but he produced the Heisman Trophy winner.
The
He threw
Heisman
it to
Trophy
him.
winner got him looked at. And the other two receivers that went pro, one could argue that they made the quarterback. Most of his throws won't even pass 10 yards. That's why it's completed.
You did not watch Colorado play.
That's why
There's
his
no way.
completion
You did not watch
percentage
Shedeur
was
play,
so high.
dog.
Those
The fact
guys
you
was
just
running
said-
after the
hey,
catch. He threw one long pass to the boy that went to Baltimore, and he caught it falling
You
on
might
the
need to
ground.
go back and watch film,
It
dog.
touched the ground.
Because he had several bombs to Jimmy Horn.
He only had the one. He only had the one. All of his throws pretty much was run after
You
the
mean
catch.
to tell me? Okay, hold on. Cup.
He did.
How can
I
the
will say
quarterback?
he could
Hold on.
scramble.
Listen. Hold on. Listen.
Scramble
Let me
than
rebuttal.
people give
Let
him
me
credit
rebuttal. Listen, Cup. Let me rebuttal. How can the school that had the most wide receivers drafted, their quarterback not be looked at, and you not consider the quarterback
Thank
a top?
you. Thank you.
Think about this. Colorado
I
had
feel
the most
blown
wide
out, bro.
receivers drafted, yet Shedeur is not what we think he is. But Tyler Shaw is better than him.
And he
I
went to
definitely
the
don't
worst
think-
school out of everybody.
That's
He
what.
went to
That's
the worst school. They won one game before
He
he
shot
got there.
himself in the foot, bro.
that's what
Not
got me
having
blown.
an agent he didn't do himself
I
a
agree
favor
with that,
with
but that's not football. I agree
That
with
ain't.
that, but that's not football.
The
By
agent
the
is
way-
only
by
for
the
the
way,
money. The
Nobody
agent
was
just for the
opposed.
money.
Nobody was opposed to Archie Manning representing Eli Manning in that draft. But even though Eli did have an agent, but Archie represented him. Archie is the one that told San Diego, "You're not drafting my son,"
Trade
and
my
he
boy.
still got drafted number 1 overall. Nobody
He
made a
did.
big deal about his father representing him. But I get it. I got it. You got it.
Oh, it was a different time, right? It
I
was
love-
a different time in
Nah,
America.
I ain't saying it's a different time, but the Mannings, they put quarterbacks in the league. That's 3 generations.
Eli
got
Manning
the
ain't no
greatest
damn body.
defense.
His dad wasn't a quarterback.
He
His
was
dad
the
was a
greatest
cornerback.
defensive back to play the game.
His dad was a cornerback, not a quarterback.
He was still the most. What?
I love you, Cup. I love you, Cup.
His dad called the plays for his son.
Hey,
He
Cup.
can't read a
Hey, Cup.
playbook, bro.
Let me tell you. Let me
No,
tell
he
you how.
didn't.
how,
No,
how
he
let me
didn't.
tell you
No,
how
he did
different
not.
Deion.
No, he
Let
did
me
not.
tell you how different Deion Sanders is. When he got drafted by the Falcons, who was their quarterback?
Man,
It was Jeff
Don't
George.
worry, I'll wait. Don't worry, I'll wait.
Was it Jeff
Jeff
George?
George was a great quarterback.
You see how you have to think about it.
George was a great quarterback.
He wasn't great.
He was good.
I only knew that because I had Jeff George's throwback jersey, but
he was serviceable. That was it. He was bigger than
Pat Shermer was the offensive coordinator for Colorado the last 2 years. He runs a pro style offense. He was the head coach of the Browns for 2 years. He runs a pro style. That's not Deion's playbook. That's a pro style offense that he just played in the last.
And he was making pro style throws.
Man, ain't Pat Shermer like up there with John
Yes,
Madden and
yeah,
age?
he up
Man,
there.
what y'all talking about, man?
Hey, revolutionary though. He put up numbers with him.
What's up, Bo? What's up,
Hey,
Bo?
y'all are funny. No, but that's what I said. That's why I started off this tape, man. Because I'm like, that's what made me feel blah about it, bro. Like I hate to be on the fence in the middle. I really do, bro. Because it's like almost like I want to look at the business side of things, right? And what was said, this and that, and the third. Then I agree with you guys because I feel the same way too. Like, dang, man, they let my boy slide like that. Then I try to be optimistic, right? Just like everybody else. Well, Tom Brady went in the sixth round, blase, blase, blah. He ain't Tom Brady, but at the same time, I'm just looking at it like Tom Brady ain't put them numbers up at Michigan, like at all. So, you
Nobody
know,
expected Tom Brady to be Tom
He
Brady
played
at
behind
all.
what? The same quarterback, didn't he?
who is that?
He played behind another quarterback in Michigan.
Yeah, Brady was like the sixth quarterback on the depth chart.
Yeah, he just did what he did in the NFL, and yeah, he's legendary. He's the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Through my lenses, but it's just like, yo, I don't know why he slid. I really don't, because I look at a lot of other players that slid. You know what I'm saying? Like that should have been picked ahead of other players. You know. But yeah, man, this is gonna be one of those topics that's just gonna live like rent free in my head probably the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Because I'm just
any agent
baffled by it.
would have did Dion a favor and represented his son. I think they did themselves a disservice with the agent thing, man.
I agree. I agree. I
An
agree.
agent, an agent probably would have had him prepped for the interviews and the questions on the playbook. He would have set up, more meetings. He would have, kind of led him in the right direction, man. An agent job is big, man. They do earn their money.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
You got to
I
use the system the way the system's supposed to be used. Like I was saying, you
you
ain't
talk
going
about
to
the
court
system.
without a lawyer. If you do, you're going to get ramrodded.
I
So,
definitely agree with that. But
I
then
don't
I
really,
just
I don't agree with the agents. I think the agents are outdated most of the time. That's how I really look
mm,
at it. Agents, majority of the time, they outdated. Most of the time, they dirty just get a big paycheck because they take a nice chunk of the salary from the players to
10%,
to
10%.
basically 10% of what 100 million.
Yeah, but they earning that
And
money,
then
man.
they
They doing a
that ain't
lot
earned
behind the
like most.
scenes, man. They
I'm
setting up the
very indifferent
meetings, the
when it come
visits.
to that. I'm very indifferent when it comes to agents. I think they got one of the lamest jobs on earth. I really do. I think and most of them are like sharks. They pick up on the young, especially when we was coming up before all the media, all the social media
yeah.
started taking off. They was preying on the young black kids out of the hood. I don't care for agents. I
One
really.
could say the same thing about a lawyer, but you need them when you go to court.
That's only
Yes,
when you
sir.
in court though.
I'm
Hey,
gonna
but
agree.
that's only when you about to get drafted. You need a
Yeah,
game.
but
Okay,
then
that's my
I
point
look at it
exactly.
then I look at it like this, like, bet on yourself sometimes because at the end of the day, just like there's a lot of people that know the land of the laws and
Mm-hmm.
can argue or prosecuting team down to their defense and beat the case. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yeah, man.
But
I don't
the
know
reason
whether he
the
needed an
reason
agent or
behind
not.
that, and I know we want to get up out of here. The reason behind that, man, is because of relationships. It's not. I agree with Marquise when he says that their job, for the most part, is like it's almost kind of like they're somewhat kind of eating off of somebody else's plate to a certain degree. I get that, but that relationship, to Cup's point, a lot of them big those short pudgy bald head lawyers, they've been knowing that judge that's in charge of your case for 22 years. You get what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So that relationship can matter sometimes, and I understand that it's a
That makes sense. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's a sleazy game to play. Somewhat, I get it. It's somewhat of a sleazy game, but I'm not risking my draft capital without it. Never mind the fact this is the one kid who can afford it because he just made a bunch of NIL money.
A
So he
whole
can
And
lot of.
afford
somebody would have did Dion a favor
Which
for
is
free.
more than his whole rookie contract combined.
Somebody
yeah,
would have did
yeah.
Dion a favor for free and represented his son, man. They wouldn't even charge him.
Yeah. Hey, but I will say, man, I will say like this in closing. Man, put it like this. Shedeur, all he gotta do, he ain't even gotta prove himself to nobody. Man, just show up to work and do what you're
Mhm.
supposed to do. Be you. Be you, Shedeur Sanders, bro, and let the chips fall where they lay.
That's it.
Eventually he'll get to play because everybody in front of him gonna get hurt.
Yeah, damn right. That's what I'm saying.
Gabriel
That's
ain't
the
it.
curse of that's the
Dylan
curse of
Gabriel
Cleveland.
ain't it.
He gonna get his time. He
That's
definitely
the
gonna
curse
get his
of
time.
As far as I'm concerned, ain't nobody in front of him. Kenny
Yeah.
Pickett and the dude from
Dylan
Oregon.
Gabriel.
Are you kidding me? If Shedeur ain't beating out Kenny Pickett, then we're gonna have to revisit this conversation because he might.
Oh yeah.
He might really be a bust.
Oh yeah.
But the dude from Oregon and Kenny Pickett,
Yeah.
this ain't no. This is a
Yeah.
training camp battle. They gonna make them be, and you're a rookie, so you should have to go in training camp, go out there, let them vets bust your ass, let them pick you off a couple of times so you can learn. But what he puts on film in training camp in front of that coaching staff will determine all of this. This ain't about
It's gonna be interesting to see.
I'm gonna tell you one team that should have got him, though, to be honest with you, and I'm glad that they didn't. If it's one team that I can say that should have really got him after they got Carter was the Giants.
Yeah. But they don't draft.
The Giants or Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
One of those two teams should have.
We know what type of
but
quarterbacks.
the only reason I said the Giants, man, because they ready, man. Young wide receiver core, especially with Malik Neighbors, and then you got Tyrone Tracy back there. You got your defensive player. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like the Giants would have been that team for him, man.
Dable think he made Josh Allen, so he feel like he can make the next Josh Allen.
Yeah.
And the quarterback they got fit that mold with the height, the weight, and all of that.
Y'all know New York don't draft certain quarterbacks.
Yeah, we know that.
Hey, I was trying not to say it. I was trying not to say it. Like I know.
Yeah.
I was saying
they don't draft him, but
it
they will play him, man. Tyrod been over there for a while, ain't he?
No, Tyrod ain't last that long.
Interesting, man. Dan Graziano said on Get Up that in one pick after them, Baltimore, John Harbaugh called Lamar Jackson and got his blessing to draft Shedeur. That's what they said. Wow. Now, obviously, that's a report. You take it for what it's worth.
Yeah.
But they said that they called Lamar. They said, "Would you mind if we take him in the next round? If he's there at the top of the sixth round, they were gonna take him. Baltimore was gonna take him if he was there. They said that Cleveland grabbed him ahead of him. So,
wow, that would have been scary.
And reportedly, Lamar said, "Take him."
Yeah.
So shout out to Lamar Jackson for being a real one.
Yeah, that's a real one right there.
He could have learned a lot from Lamar.
A whole lot.
That's it. The running part.
Yeah, a whole lot.
He would have got some playing time in the preseason games.
Yeah.
Behind Lamar, he won't see in the field unless he got hurt.
Yes, sir, man.
That would have helped too, though. I mean, if I'm a fifth round pick, go sit behind Lamar for a year. If you choose not to pick me up, I guarantee you I'll beat somebody else out next year. So, so I wouldn't have been mad at that. But I'm glad if he don't make it on the field in Cleveland with what they got, dog. If Joe Flacco or one of them dudes that they starting quarterback, then we got to revisit this conversation.
We got a problem.
That it shouldn't be no problem getting on that field.
They traded for Kenny Pickett though,
which made no sense.
So they're gonna give him. They probably gonna give him the first crack at it.
Yeah, but that was out of desperation, though. To me, that was out of desperation.
They should have just waited till the draft.
Yeah.
He'll throw 3 or 4 picks in one game, and then they'll move to Flacco for to finish that game, and the next 1 or 2 till he throw 3 picks. Then they'll go to the rookie they picked in front of him. If he blow it up, then they'll have to give Shedeur a chance.
He gonna get a shot. He definitely gonna get a shot. Yes, sir, man. That's another one in the books, man. A recap of the draft. We got the Shedeur Sanders takes in, man. Hey, until next time, you guys already know what we do, man. Catch us on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, every imaginable platform that you can think of. We up there, man. Like Cool said earlier, man. Follow us on IG Live, man. Like NPR Lead. We're gonna get everybody handles out there, man. Follow us. We hitting the social media streets hard, man. So just make it do what it do, man. League guys, you already know what it is, man. I gotta sit down. We're about to get everything straight with the league, and draft pick selection for our league is coming up shortly. It's definitely coming up shortly, man. So that's what it do, fellas, man. I appreciate you guys, man.
Yes, sir.
You know how it goes. Yes, sir.
Let's get up out of here.
Yes.
go hard.